We're taking over, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 Raptors Republic mock draft. Thought it'd be cool. We're a little bit away, a couple weeks away to the NBA draft for us to do a little mock draft and talk about the Raptors position at number 9. We're only going to do round 1, by the way. Not going to go deep into our bag in the second round. That would be kind of crazy.
There's no bag. There's no bag to go into.
There's no Maxime Renault. No, you don't want to talk about Hanson Yang or whatever. Anyways, whatever. We can talk about anything. But look, we have Samson Folk, as you guys know, from the Pull Up Trey podcast. Trey himself from the namesake, Trevon Heath, Pull Up Trey. And we got my guy Mac, the man they call Mac. How you doing, Mac?
Doing great. I'm ready to pick these prospects and deal with the comments.
Hell yeah. I love it. I love it. Okay, look, so this is how we're going to do it. I will play the role of commissioner, and basically what we're going to go is Samson will have the number 1 pick, Mac will have the number 2 pick, Trey will have the number 3 pick, and they will alternate that way. Okay, let's get this going. Number 1 overall pick, the Dallas Mavericks select. I don't think this is a surprise by any means, but what's the pick?
Yeah, Cooper Flag from Duke. I think it's an easy pick. Before we were recording, we were talking about how funny it is that people align so easily. Like we're saying, like Ace Bailey is mocked at 3 everywhere, and it's like, how do you become the consensus number 3, given how much we know that drafts change and how hard it is to get these things right? The diversity of opinion is not really there. However, when it comes to Cooper Flag, having watched his film and actually did a lot of homework myself on a lot of these prospects, he makes so much sense at number 1. I understand why, from an analytics profile to the film and his measurements, why he's such a home run there. And even though I hate that the Mavericks got number 1, I detest it.
I think people know that we do.
Yeah, we the live reaction, dude. I made Dua back over by my bed. I was like, oh Lord. Anyway, Cooper Flag, number 1.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Absolutely does. No surprise there. All right, let's see if we'll have any surprises at number 2. Mac, San Antonio Spurs, select.
Ace Flag, Cooper's twin. No, we'll go Dylan Harper.
Okay.
Guard out of Rutgers.
No surprises there. Dylan Harper. Okay, 1 and 2, pretty clear cut. Now I'm wondering if Trey has anything up his sleeve with the 3rd overall pick from the Philadelphia 76ers. What do you got?
To nobody's surprise, we're going to the Caribbean. He may not be Jamaican, but at pick 3, I'm taking VJ Edgecombe. I think that's a no-brainer to me. Like when you look at like the starting 2 guards of like really good teams, there's those stout defensive 2 guards that can both handle the ball, shoot the ball, and also drive. You have Andrew Nembhard, Derek White, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, and he fits that mold and has like the athleticism potential to do more. So I think it's an easy pick. He can play with Maxey super well.
Man,
kind
he
of
fits
funny.
so well with Maxey. I'm just thinking about the potential there. Sorry, Samson, go ahead.
I was gonna say basically every guy you named, whether it's like Nembhard, Dort, Caruso, I guess Derek White.
Yeah,
is a 1st round pick, but everyone else there is like, it just shows how much that role has elevated in how important it's become in like the weak link versus strong link shift. Is now looking at a guy like VJ Edgecombe, you're like, man, if we can get him and if he's kind of like a supercharged Derek White, that's incredibly valuable. Whereas that role, that player just would not have been considered that for years and years. It shows, I think, a significant shift of where the NBA is.
Do you think if this happens this way, and if Philly does select VJ Edgecombe and now Ace Bailey is on the board at number 4, do you think there's multiple teams calling Charlotte and saying, hey, what would you do for 4? Or is this more of a yes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I figured too.
100%.
Okay. All right. Since we're on that topic, let's go to number 4 with Samson. How you feeling for the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite players in the draft, and a guy who I was kind of robbed of the ability to really focus in on because the Raptors got dogged in the lottery. Trey Johnson at before. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's awesome, and I think like that LaMelo, Brandon Miller. We know Trey's nickname for him, which we won't say here, and Trey Johnson. I think would be pretty formidable. And obviously they have front court stuff to figure out, but that would make, I think, an incredible front three there.
Trey would be sick next to LaMelo. Like that shooting would be awesome to watch. Obviously, like you wonder how that team would look defensively, and I guess that's why they would be like, oh, we hope VJ falls to number 4. I think VJ would also be like a great fit for them with that core. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Number 5, Utah. What do the Jazz do here?
So Utah swings for another wing, and they take Ace Bailey.
Okay,
they end a little bit of a slide. I think they missed it with Cody Williams. Let's be honest. I mean, it's only 1 year. He could pick it back up, but I think with Ace, you go for high upside. You give your city some hope since you lost the lottery and they did everything in their power to win it. I think with Ace, you get some type of promise for the future.
Did you guys see the rumor that the Cody Williams selection got people fired? Did you guys see that floating around?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. That's kind of crazy.
It's crazy that happens after 1 year, though. That's like...
I think that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back. I'd have to imagine. Because it's Cody Williams, yes, but you look at Utah's draft history. Yes. It's not just Cody Williams. There's like a lot of, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Would that force them maybe in this situation, if Ace drops, to like take a safer pick? Because there's such a boom bust potential for a guy like Ace. Like, would they go out and take, I don't know, Khan, who might be a solid player regardless? You know what I mean?
You're suggesting that Utah would get the white guard.
The prodigal son comes to Utah.
Exactly. I think Ace, I understand that there's like some people think there's a boomer bust.
Yeah.
I think he's seen as a fairly safe prospect, honestly, by the NBA intelligentsia or whatever the hell the body politic of the NBA, I guess. I think he's seen as not super risky.
I mean, I don't see a world where Khan would go over Ace.
Right. Yeah.
He is a good shooter. Like, he just didn't pan out at Rutgers, but I think he has the shooting ability to kind of keep himself on the floor with Utah.
Yeah,
and obviously the size. Yeah,
they don't just need a safe pick; they need a home run. They traded Donovan Mitchell 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Yeah,
and they've yet to find like a solid prospect or core that they can build around outside of Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Who they don't even like anymore, apparently.
Who they want to trade. Yeah, I know. Their crop of young guys is kind of strange. I'm not going to lie, because so many guards, obviously, with Collier and Keontae George, and they also still have Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson, and it's like, where are the minutes
scary
going?
Hours, dude.
Yeah,
backcourt is scary hours, man.
Yeah, and there's like no wings outside of Cody Williams. It's like you have Walker Kessler, Kyle Filipowski. They're kind of slotted into the big spots. It's like, what else do you look for?
Sensabaugh has upside, but yeah.
Sensabaugh can hang in. He'll be an NBA player for a while, but he's not selling jerseys. Or
not something to hang your hat on. Okay, number 6, Washington Wizards.
Oh, the board went exactly how I wanted. Oh, brother. LeBron went to Cleveland in 2003. Derrick Rose went to Chicago in 2011, and Derek Queen's coming home to the DMV in 2025.
I love it.
He's a prospect that's probably, I think, for a lot of teams, he's either like very high on your board or probably not on it at all, just because there's clear fit and defensive issues. But like Washington is actually one of his best fits. He could pair with Sarr fairly well.
Yeah.
Sarr projects to be able to stretch the floor. That's how he wants to play. That gives Queen tons of space to be able to operate. He's one of the best driving bigs, if not the best, within this class. And where he lacks defensively, especially as like a rim protector and some lateral issues, Alex Sarr will be able to make up a lot of that as a weak side defender. So I think they pair together very well, because Sarr won't have to guard some of those bigger bigs and bang on the glass. Derek Queen can do that at a very high level. And you won't ask Derek Queen to be able to roam around the floor and do anything that he isn't comfortable doing.
It's also
And I
there's
agree
kind of
with
like
you.
this.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, yeah, sorry. I was gonna say like what with Trey's point, like defensively they can offset one another, and also on the offensive side, right?
Yep.
Sar can stretch the floor, and Queen can work in the post and do what he does because he's a great playmaker. He can catch and go off the boards. He does everything offensively for you, and then Sar gives you everything defensively. So it's a good balance.
Yeah, I also wanted to add too, like there's Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum leave an indelible mark on each other's development. And those two developed in ways that you might not have expected just because of how they share the floor and just because of how unique a pairing Sar and Queen could be. It could lead to like unseen developments in both of their games, which I think would be quite cool. And probably they could develop more dynamic or more with more dynamism as far as like front court playmaking and stuff like that. There would be a lot of potential for that. So that would be cool.
I don't know what would make me more mad if Queen gets taken before the Raptors have the ability to take him, or if he's on the board where when the Raptors have the pick and they don't take him either way. That I'm not sure, because I really do like the Raptors fit for Queen, but I'm not sure what would bug me more. Okay, number 7, New Orleans. Where are we going here, Samson?
Yeah, I think that I personally would pick Nolan Traore if I'm looking for a guard at 7. Wow. However, I think the Pelicans are taking Jeremiah Fears here. Is I think who's going. And Jeremiah Fears.
Sell while we're on the topic here, sell why you're higher on Traore than Fears.
I think Traore plays like with a tremendous amount of control. I think he's bigger for sure, and I think he projects as a guy who can, as Trey laid out, why VJ Edgecombe is so important for the future of the league. That's partially why Nolan Traore, I think there's a decent floor there in his game because he can slide between 1 and 2 and more comfortably play off ball, I think. And I do believe in his jumper. I believe in his ability to control the floor, like with the ball in his hands. And that stuff is great. Although Jeremiah Fears has the best handle in the class. He's extremely explosive and he's small. But if the jumper like is really there and he's a guy who forces you to step up and guard like 26 feet and, he gets to play make with, a road ahead of him and stuff like that, I think he could be really, really impressive. And I think New Orleans probably will lean towards that, especially since they have, you look at who's on their roster, their wings they're pretty comfortable with. Yves Missy doesn't disqualify them from taking Malwatch or anything like that, but I don't know if they take Malwatch. So yeah, Jeremiah Fears, New Orleans.
I mean, it's New Orleans or Brooklyn for Jeremiah Fears, and after that, it can get ugly for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
But I said this before. I think the Raptors like Jeremiah.
Yeah.
He could go at 9, I think, if he's there, but
with Malawach and Essengue on the board, I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you guys. Let's play a little devil's advocate while we're here. If at 7 Fears is available, do you think? I mean, obviously, I imagine if the Raptors are high on him, they're looking to try to trade up to do that. How much would you guys trade up to go out and get Fears if you really like Fears? Cannon fodder. All right, okay, fine. All right, fine. No discussion here. Okay, number 8, Brooklyn. That's also another team looking for a franchise guy. How do you guys feel? Mac, what's up?
I'll go Noah Essengue. The reason I'm doing that, I'm going high upside. Those teams with multiple first round picks, I think you swing for high upside, high ceiling early on. Later on, you get those Nick Cliffords, those guys who can come in and do the dirty work for you as a rotational player. But I think you go with the upside. You try your luck. You have 4 first round picks. Like one of them are going to hit. At least 2 of them, maybe. Right. So I think you go for it.
Would be crazy if none of them hit. That would be what.
They're not Utah, so we'll see.
Okay, so Noah Essengue off the board, and now we are 15 minutes in. We've reached the Toronto Raptors pick at number 9. We are much faster than the regular NBA draft. Let me tell you that. Trey, where are you going? Number
9. I think if the board shakes out this way, and I think there's a good chance it does, I'd probably want to trade back. Like there's a really good spots where like OKC where they have 2 picks where you can probably double dip. Atlanta as well. But I'm a man of honor. I'm gonna stay at the pick. Obviously, there's no one else to negotiate with as well. But I think at 9, if it was up to me, I would take Nolan Traore here. I
Wow.
I think because the way that the Raptors play, you need a guard that can operate within pick and rolls, operate within actual space, and then also have the ability, sort of like what Samson said, to play off the ball and fill into other spots as well. Because they run tons of motion. Other guys get other ball handling opportunities, and you don't want, like Davion did a fantastic job, better than normal, better than I expected. But him operating as an off ball wing just is a void of space. You need a guy that can intertwine in and out, like the Pacers do, sort of kind of like how the Celtics do as well. Like their guards are interchangeable. But I don't think the Raptors are going to pick him. I think if the board shakes out this way, they'll probably pick Carter Bryant. I think the Raptors have like a huge gap in terms of like that bigger wing. The Raptors got pushed around all last season because you have guys like Ochai Agbaji, Jacoby Waltz, who are like 6'5" that should be probably guarding your opposing like smaller guards, point guards at times as well. And there isn't anyone to guard that big wing like OG Anunoby, for example. I've mentioned it many times on this podcast. Watching Grady Dick defend OG Anunoby is one of the saddest moments of all of last season. So I think you.
So
go ahead.
Go.
I think you get a guy with Carter Bryant that can defend that archetype of player who bodes well to be a really good shooter, so he'd be able to stay in with a lot of lineups as well, and then have the strength and athleticism to be a really good play finisher that resembles another guy that played on the Raptors for a long time who they've yet to replace that particular archetype.
Okay, let me do the engagement moment quick. Listener, you just heard Nolan Traore come off the board with like Carter available, Malawach available, a bunch of favorites like Jakushionis. Who would you take? Leave it in the comments. And also just who do you love at 9? Who do you want to fall, or who do you want them to reach up and grab? Let us know. I guess that makes Commissioner, I'm number 10.
Yeah. So are we going? It was the pick Carter or Nolan? Because you made the case for both.
Yeah, he's a little cowardly, wasn't he? He's trying to have his cake and eat it too.
I think the Raptors are going to pick Carter Bryant, so I'll stick with Bryant.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's what I said from the beginning.
No,
I know. I
dance a little bit. You
know what? You know what's funny? You did the exact same thing that I did. Only when I did it, I was like, "This is cool." But when you did it, I was like, "Oh, brother!"
You schmuck.
And we both did it with Nolan Traore. That's really funny. Okay, Carter Bryant. Okay, good. Houston.
Yeah, Houston. What's up?
Oh, I should say like I'd like Nolan here, but I'm actually I'm gonna go with CMB.
Oh, I love
Colin Murray Boyles in that defense.
Sick fit.
I think is insanity. I think it would be funny because Colin hasn't gone yet. Colin Kneppel.
Yeah.
It would be really funny to be like, Reed wasn't the white guard we wanted. Colin, we really like. It would be kind of a funny thing. But yeah, Colin Murray Boyles. And I think he would be insane on that team. Tari Eason and Amen Thompson would be like the biggest, baddest motherfucker. Like it would just be, they would cause so many problems.
Yeah. I like that. I like that pick a lot. Yeah, Houston would be trouble. Oh my goodness. Okay. Number 11, Portland Trailblazers. And you did mention Kneppel falling off the board, but yeah.
Damn, you guys made the board a little ugly for me. I'm Portland. I'm going for spacing. I'll take Kneppel.
Okay. Yeah. All right. At this point, you're like, yeah, you got to take Con. He probably a top 10 pick, ends up at 11. I feel like you're happy with that. That's probably a good process.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Swing it back. Wait, sorry.
Just quickly, what has changed? Like Malawach is falling far right now.
I thought he was going to go 9.
Who else is available?
The Raptors can kind of determine the board here a little bit because after the the like consensus dudes at 9, the way that they pick kind of changes the direction of the rest of the draft. You know?
Yeah, the Raptors are kind of like, there's a little bit of off-season control thing here because they're in on every star per the talks. They're trying a lot of, and they have like a package that's either okay or really good depending on what they include. They also are just outside the consensus, as you said, S. Yeah. Interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of curious because like now you got a couple guys falling. Okay. Number 12. Not Derek Queen. Sorry, Chicago Bulls. That was
at 12. That's actually a good. I think you have to, in good conscience, you have to pick. Come on, Malawatch. The Bulls have they clearly need their next big. Nikola Vucevic is getting older and has slipped defensively as well. So like you put in another guy that could be a rim finisher for Josh Giddey, Kobe White as well, and then protect both of those guys because that guard combination isn't the greatest defensively. So I think it's a pretty easy pick to slot in, and they're probably jumping for joy if he falls to 12.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet they'd like Queen too. I mean, I think either of those guys would be pretty just find a big at this point. Okay. Number 13, Atlanta. How we feeling?
Okay, so I mean we teased Nolan at 7 and 9. It's probably time he went. I think he would pair pretty well with Trae Young. I think he can fit into like the Trae, Dyson, Nolan situation. Rizachet makes sense there. Jalen Johnson. Like I think he would make a lot of sense on that team. And there's probably also in the same way that, you know, going into the future, Jacoby and Grady seem to be able to mask some of the others' weaknesses. I think Nolan and Dyson probably could have a little bit of that symbiotic relationship as well. And also like if he pops the hell off, and if ever Trae Young is like, they're like, okay, the Trae Young era is over. That's probably an easier transition and retool, I suppose.
Kobe Buffkin, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Bro, they never picked him up. he was never held. Man.
Oh man.
Poor Kobe.
What a time. Okay. All right. So
wait, just as a quickly, I remember when
we were in,
it was in the boat, we were getting bubble tea, and Goose got you that gift, the LeBron James gift.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking about Kobe Buffkin. It was after we went for Haka.
Yeah.
It was after we went for Haka.
Yeah.
It was because Josh was in town because he was back from LA.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was the first time
you guys were high. You guys were high on him. You said he was better than George. I remember
Keontae George.
Yeah, I feel like nobody won that debate, to be honest.
He might still.
Keontae did some. He's in Utah. What do you want?
Keontae got the usage.
Yeah. Okay, so
we'll
we've actually turned this to free Kobe Buffkin now. You know, free him.
Yeah,
free him. Okay, number 14, San Antonio Spurs. How we feeling? Nolan Trail off the board.
I think I'm gonna go Thomas Sorber.
Cool. I like that actually.
I like this a lot.
Cool.
Him and Wemby in the front court is gonna be a nice defensive duo. I always seen Thomas Sorber as like a new type of Al Horford type. He's not the smallest center, right? But he does a little bit of everything defensively. Big wingspan, as we know, 7'6". I think he would complement Wemby really well in the front court, offensively and defensively. I think, and you can't go guard, right? They're kind of stacked at the guard now with Dylan that went number 2, right? Yeah. You got Castle, you got Fox. They got too much back there. So let's get the front court solidified.
That's a good pick.
I like that a lot.
I really, really like that.
I'll just say would break my heart if Carter Bryant ends up on the San Antonio Spurs because he's just going to pop the hell off if he's on San Antonio. It's like the perfect wing type. It just seems like it, dude. I don't know. Just seems like one of those guys.
Who goes to San Antonio, I feel like, wow, good for you, man.
Yeah.
You go to play with Wemby. What a life. Like De'Aaron Fox. He's the guy who got picked. They were just like, we need a guy. And he's like, are you for real? Like, I'm the guy who gets to be tacked onto Wemby. I would feel incredibly lucky.
And there's like a really good chance by like 2 weeks from now, they have Kevin Durant, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox within a year.
Sources?
No sources. But you pair that with Stephon Castle, like they could win 50 games next year. That probably would be the expectation, honestly.
You didn't overhear any conversations from Bobby when you were at the 905 game, sitting baseline or sideline or whatever?
No, sir. I am just friend of Essengue Baraheni.
You can't do that.
I just go when he throws me the little shirt, I grab it. There's like some kids behind me too. They thought they were gonna get the shirt, but I just
hey, yo, don't ruin the process, the magic of t-shirt throwing. You know what I mean? Hey, if you guys ever want to come to a 9-to-5 game, pull up. Okay, anyways, we're out of the lottery now. OKC ends up with their first pick of the NBA draft. Oklahoma City, obviously, in the NBA Finals right now. So for them to have the 15th overall pick, pretty sweet. Samson, where are you going?
This, I actually need time to think about this a little bit, and
fair.
It's my job to talk for a living, so I'll keep talking. But it is really interesting to think about, like,
hold on.
Wait.
What?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Mac picked. Yes, you're right. Yes, Mac picked Thomas Sorber. Sorry, Commissioner messing up here already. Okay, Trey.
Dear Lord.
Where are you going for OKC?
I'm picking Cedric Howard here.
Same brain. Totally.
That's the pick.
I think if you're OKC, you probably want close to immediate impact and a guy that can insert within your roster like almost immediately. We saw just yesterday, if you have a guy on the wing that can hit a lot of shots off of SGA, off of J-Dub, it makes them completely unguardable. Cedric Howard has shot the ball well in college throughout the entire time he's been there. He's long, he's athletic, he bodes well to be a good play finisher off of Shea, as well as he looks like he'll be able to defend in the league as well. I think the only question really has been like the competition level, but I think it's a very safe bet, and you can probably, I wouldn't be shocked if he's in their rotation like year one contributing right away.
Man, to go from the Big Sky Conference, basically 6 games in between, and then you're on a finals team, is pretty nuts. But he really does fit that mold. Like Aaron Wiggins is boogieing in the like he just gave you what 18 in game 2, hit 2 step back threes. He's provided a ton for them in the finals. Like Cedric Howard is just such a thunder guy. He makes so much sense there. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So there's still one guy that I'm kind of intrigued by that has not gotten to the spot. Okay. Let's without spoiling it. 16. The Orlando Magic actually.
Jaku.
Jaku. Yeah.
Makes sense. It's so easy. It makes a lot of sense there. I think they would probably be ecstatic getting a look at him outside of the lottery. They'd probably be like, hell yeah. He and Suggs, I think that's pretty friendly. He and Anthony, it's probably either Anthony, well, less Cole, more so Anthony Black. It's pretty friendly. He makes a lot of sense there. And considering that he does have some things that would make you a little bit nervy about him, getting him at 16 and getting a look at that, he could end up being like really great for them. So that's where I would go with 16. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I'm very interested to see where he goes because it seems like he might end up being a top 10 pick or he could completely fall out of the lottery. Okay. Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm very interested to see where Mac goes with this Timberwolves pick because I feel like I know what they need, but I'm not sure if that's what direction you're going to go here.
This is tough.
Yeah, there's no easy pick here.
Yeah, it's kind of getting muddy now, folks. We're in the grinds of the
Wolves. While Mac thinks about this, the Wolves are. You look at the teams when we were talking about VJ and how important that archetype is. The Pacers have theirs. The Thunder have 3 of those guys, basically. The Celtics have it. The Knicks don't. The Timberwolves don't. They need it bad. Like that archetype is so important. And I suspect the teams that are back in the finals next year will probably have that player more or less.
Yeah.
It's like ball pressure. Like you see the difference between like the Knicks series and the Thunder series for the Pacers. And it's night and day. The amount of space that Tyrese had to boogie in between Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns. Guards are too good these days to have that much space.
So just because Caitlin and I did the podcast, his points per possession on drives in game 2 was 0.22.
Yeah, it was very, very.
0.22.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Pascal had
Mm.
one post up the whole game,
Yeah.
the ball pressure, and they attack entry passes. What they're able to do,
It's
incredible.
nuts.
Yeah.
It's really nuts. There's
Okay, I'll
there's a
go.
guard that I'm
Oh,
thinking of here that might fit the mold of what you guys are saying, maybe potentially. But,
I was gonna take. I'm taking a guard. I'm taking a
Okay.
guard here. I'm gonna take Igor Demin.
Wow.
oh wow, okay,
Wow.
all right, not what I was expecting actually, but okay, all right.
I like that.
Wow.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I think the connective playmaking gives you size at the point guard. Like last year, they went Rob Dillingham. They already had Mike Conley, two smaller guards. It's really hard to play make in the league when you have two guards at that size. I know that it worked out for the Raptors, but it's a different type of guard, right? I think with Igor Demin, you're going to open up the playmaking. Like I said, I think the shot is there. I think he has the mechanics. I just think he just needs the repetitions. He's 18, like 19 years old. He's going to get there, and I think it gives them a lot more versatility as a ball movement team. I think they're not going to have to rely on Anthony Edwards to take the ball up every single time because of his Demon's vision and the way he plays in transition. He's an excellent passer. I think that would really open up the offense for the T-Wolves.
Wow. Okay. I like it. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see how he looks just again in the league with the physicality and all that, like how he creates separation. That's I guess one of the things that pops out with Yegor. But he's big. He's 6'9", or at least what he's projected at is like 6'9.5". I don't know what his actual measurements ended up being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
he's 6'9". He's 6'9" with shoes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty clean fit next to Ant as well. And I don't know how long Julius Randle will be on that team. But at the very least, just in between Ant and Naz Reid, I think Demon makes a lot of sense there. If in like 2 or 3 years, even Dillingham, Ant, Demon, Naz as the fulcrum of what they do going forward makes a lot of sense based on what you'd expect Demon to be able to do, especially helping Ant kind of solve half court defenses, particularly good ones.
Yeah.
My thing with Minnesota, and I agree that like they definitely need that archetype of player, the Suggs type. I wonder if they end up going big here just because of Rudy aging out, and like they need another guy there. I don't know if they necessarily think Leonard Miller is going to be that guy for them, but just another big.
They probably,
But the Wolves have the 31st pick.
Yeah, they could.
They have the 31st pick.
So you're thinking with 31st they'll take like a. Well, I don't want to spoil any names, but yes. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay. All right. Back to Washington here, Trey. 2 Wizards picks. Wow, look at you. Okay.
Max left me with a conundrum because I was for sure going to pick Rasheer Fleming.
I would pick Hero here if he was still in the draft, but he left with Kentucky.
You like him more than me.
You put me on. He's awesome, though.
He is awesome.
I'm sad he's not, because I thought maybe the Raptors, he could have been like a second round guy, but anyway.
I have to pick Jace Richardson. I think he's too good, to be honest. Yeah, obviously, he doesn't have the requisite size that you probably want out of a 2 guard, but he does have a plus wingspan at 6'8". He's shown that he can defend at the college level, and he's what I like to see when I see my defenders. Do they got the thighs? Do they got the calves? Like I look at his lower half quite often.
Hey yo,
quality calves on him. Good lower base. You can't get underneath him very, very well.
I'm not a good defender though. This is I break the mold. I break the archetype.
Jace Richardson has a lot of those factors. Plus, he can really shoot. His finishing was some of the best amongst all freshmen in college, and he would be in a role where you would allow Bub Carrington to handle the ball all the time, and he could finish off of a lot of that stuff that he's. And you have Derek Queen creating drives and open lanes for everybody else around him. So I would take Jace.
That's a fun tandem, Jace and Queen.
Yeah, that's a really good. Yeah.
I can't think of, since the time I've been paying attention to the draft, where a height measurement hurt a player's how I perceive their draft stock more. Jace, I think, was people saw what he was measured at, and almost like consensus were like, oh yeah, this guy he gets much less consideration.
Yeah, that is wild. Okay, Brooklyn Nets.
Rasheer Fleming. And I'm sprinting to the podium for it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited as a Nets fan to get Fleming at 19. I think he's awesome. I've compared him a little bit, his offense, to Naz Reid in the past, although Trey laughed in my face when I did it. And I feel okay about that. However, in play for this pick as well, it will be Fleming ultimately, but there's a man from China that I would give some consideration.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Ni hao. Let's go, dude.
But it's kind of good how you did this, because with me getting Noah early on for them, Fleming's a little bit more of a surefire rotational big or player early on. 3-and-D, you know he's gonna do that at the NBA level. So I like that pick.
Yeah, I'm a big Rasheer guy. I love.
He could be a very unique player in the NBA.
Yeah, he could be sick. Big fan of Rasheer Fleming. Even though honestly, like, not a lot of great like if you watch the St. Joseph's, it's not like he's playing the craziest competition. Whatever. Okay. What is it? Number 20 now, Miami Heat. How we feeling?
This Mac.
Oh, it's my pick, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I should
okay,
lift out the name. Yeah, bad
no worries,
here.
No worries.
My fault.
I should have had my board a little bit more cleaner. Let's go Neat Clifford.
Oh,
okay.
Let's go Neat Clifford.
I was thinking he or Drake Powell would make sense.
Yeah, I was looking at him and Reynaud maybe, but I think Neat Clifford may be the guy.
Oh, yeah. He took my pick. Jeez.
He seems like a Miami Heat player, right?
Yeah.
Is physical, does everything right. You don't have to worry about him. Lunch pail
Honestly,
guy.
Fleming kind of looks like a Miami Heat player.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Fleming, but
this
guy ran to the podium.
Dog. Clearly, that's what you think. They have similar jumpers as well.
Oh, man. Okay. Number 21, Utah Jazz. They already got Ace.
Somebody's falling here. I don't know if you guys see him.
This is a tough one. Tough one for me. I was for sure going to slot Neat Clifford. I guess. No, I'm just going to take the guys I like. I'm going to pick Noah Penda here.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Noah Penda, I think, is one of the best perimeter defenders in the class. He's a good connective passer, and I think he'll be able to be a catch and shoot shooter. And he's one of those guys who I think the NBA has kind of shifted from that 2016, 2018 range where length was above everything. You wanted those rangy Mikal Bridges type defenders, and that was king. I think it's the gusto. You need a little something in the belly, you need a little something in the thighs to really be able to defend in the league. Because there's guys who are longer than Andrew Nemhard, but he gives a guy like Jalen Brunson trouble in a series because he can thump with them, and he'll bump you. He'll give you. He's annoying to deal with. Alex Caruso's the same thing. He's incredibly handsy, and the way that he's pushing and moving guys around on defense. Noah Penda does the same thing, and is doing that to grown men in Europe. So
Jason
I think that
Wallace, also another guy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that bodes well for him to be in the league and be able to stick.
Interesting. I like it. I don't. By the way, at this point, I feel like you got to take who you like because it's all over the place at this point.
Also, I really was hoping that you guys, especially Mac, would have guys on his board that I didn't pay much attention to, but we've obviously all of us been watching a lot of the similar players.
Yeah.
It also, so Mac picked twice for San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Trey went twice for who?
For
Washington.
Yep.
I'm about to go twice for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of crazy how that lined up, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Now, if I didn't go for, actually, you know what? Will Riley for the Hawks. We'll give Riza Shea a little bit of that incentive for the competition at that spot, and I think they'll end up playing, if he went there, pretty fluid through the middle of their lineup with Jalen and Riza Shea and Will Riley as well. So yeah, let's go with Will Riley.
Cool. I kind of like it stacking up on a bunch of wings that can. And obviously, by the way, the other thing is like Karis LeVert probably is gone, and you kind of need rotational minutes.
Utah will get Karis LeVert on their team somehow. They'll be like, "That's the guy we need."
Oh man. Okay, so Atlanta has picked Will Riley. Indiana Pacers, another NBA finalist here. Where are they going, Mac? What do you feel?
Indiana Pacers, eh?
Mm-hmm. What are the Pacers?
Hanson Yang.
Wow.
Ooh.
They're gonna throw it to the block.
They go
too.
big,
dude.
Yep.
I kind of like the pick, to be honest.
Rick Carlisle.
I honestly kind of like the pick. Not gonna lie. A little backup.
That's their backup
They're
big.
gonna test his fitness. I tell you what,
they're gonna kill that boy.
Bro, James Wiseman couldn't even do it. Hanson Yang trying to get.
It was between him and Newell, Asa Newell, because
He's
Asa
really
Newell's been falling.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
but
I might have gone with Powell as like behind Smith.
I just wanted to pick Hanson before you guys.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Hanson could have gone for me a little bit earlier. And there's this, anyway. Hanson's fun.
Okay, back to OKC. 24th pick.
I'm running this in. Maxime Reynaud for OKC.
Ooh.
Another guy that can be a very good play finisher off of their other guys. He can really stretch the floor. He's able to post up as well, and he also can work within the middle of the floor and be an initiator as well, which I think OKC kind of lacks with some of their bench lineups, honestly. And he defensively, while I think he probably can't play the 5, this would be one of the few situations where he probably wouldn't be asked to be. He could play in double big lineups with either Chet or Hartenstein and be totally fine. And they would have tons of length to be able to clog the floor, and he'd be able to be a true spacer out there for SGA and the rest of them.
Brandon Carlson, I don't want to play with you anymore. Wow. I'm just gonna keep bringing up random guys.
The amount of people that pretended that they loved Brandon Carlson and in this fan base, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we lost on the OKC."
It is kind of funny to look back on fan base sentiment. I literally was thinking about that, how people were juxtaposing the Jazz against the Raptors, like the Jazz are doing it right. You know what I mean? Like just a couple years ago, and it's like, well, maybe not. It's just, and also like now the Pelicans one, I think the Pelicans did do it right. It's just they were interfered by the basketball gods to disrupt what they had going on. Yeah, like they at least for half a season were close to the first seed in the West. They had something there, but that fell apart too. Man, it just falls apart in the NBA.
It really
I guess
does.
it's me. Yeah.
Orlando Magic. How you feeling? Number 25.
Asa Newell, and feeling kind of awesome about it. Because Samson, I really believe that his jumper, like as a catch and shoot guy, I think it does come around. I think that he in their front court makes a ton of sense next to guys like Paolo and Franz. Yeah. I think that they have a lot of gritty centers and like bigs who can teach them some of the like grittier details of being a big. And that's kind of, I think that would be, they got both of the guys who fell.
I was going to say, because Ferris and New.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The commissioner is dying. 1 second.
So they got Kasparis and Asa Newell. So they're probably pretty excited about that. However, sometimes in the draft, when you're like, we got the guy who fell, sometimes you find out why he fell.
All for a reason.
Perry Jones.
I was about to say, Oklahoma City hangs the banner.
Oh my god!
But that's what we were talking about at the start, where it's like how there's no diversity of opinion in the coverage of these players. And when I was a kid, or like an older teenager watching that happen, and Perry Jones kept falling, I was like, he's top 5. I was like, how did they let top 5 go all the way? And I was like, why didn't the Raptors pick him? Right. You know, it was just
that was me with Austin Rivers. You couldn't tell me Austin Rivers wasn't gonna be a star. He snatched North Carolina.
His mixtape was nasty.
It's one of the best of all time. And he went as a freshman, hit a buzzer beater over North Carolina, the biggest game you can have as a Duke freshman, and then just wasn't the greatest in the league.
It's like, I don't know what age you would have had to be, but there was a certain conglomerate of like young kids who were like Bones Highland because they saw him hooping in Philadelphia. That one video had of him playing like street ball, and then they're like, "This guy's a legend," and then Bones, damn.
Austin Rivers had a decent NBA career, man.
He
I know he's not a star. I know he didn't. What did he play like 10 years?
Underselling it, he's not a star. That's correct.
When he was in the ESPN Top 100, there was no question that he was going to have a better career than Doc. No one even thought it was like
right. Yeah.
Even a debate. And like Doc had ended up having a better career.
That fading step back out of the corner, man.
Crazy.
It's really tough, dude.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So we got the Brooklyn Nets now with back-to-back picks. We'll still divvy it up though. Who is it even? I completely forgot. Oh yeah. So Orlando, Samson picked Asa Newell. Mac.
Oh, so it's me now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the Nets early on went Essengue, then they went Fleming,
Yep.
and now they're gonna go Walter Clayton Jr.
Cool.
I like this a lot.
Cool.
Yep.
Get that guard for the back court of the future.
I like that. Actually. I'll also like. I think Orlando might go for Walter Clayton too, just because.
The pull-up shooting.
Walter,
yeah,
I considered Walter for sure. Although, like, just pay Cole Anthony again. I don't know.
All right, Brooklyn again. Trey, how we feeling?
This is like, I feel like this is the window where the Raptors kind of need to trade up. Like, this makes tons of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn probably doesn't want to have this many rookies on their team.
Yeah, that's a lot of young guys.
At one time, the Raptors could use a trade up. But I will take Drake Powell here. One of my favorite guys in the draft class. Super duper athletic. He is again one of the better perimeter defenders in the draft class. And like, while he doesn't have tons of polish in between, like when he's ran off the line in terms of closeouts, I think as like a strong baseline, especially around this pick, if you want a guy that's going to be able to do one or two things at a high level, and he hits shots and he defends the ball fairly well. Like, I think like guys like Jalen Wells falls all the way down because he doesn't have other requisite skills outside of it. But you're put in the right context, and he was a starter for a playoff team the entire season. So like, this would be a really good fit as they're trying to build like their culture and their team. And with the other guys that they picked, like with Fleming, they'd be establishing like really great defense.
Does anyone here like Liam McNeely? Have they watched Liam McNeely? Is he in play for anybody? I'm curious about.
Not for me.
I saw him get a little bit of buzz, and I was kind of like, I wonder if anybody will take him. But
he is falling right now, because he's mocked at like what, mid-20s or mid-15s. Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. I was wondering, but obviously not many of us have watched him.
Yeah.
Like Mac or Trey, I would feel like you guys would have seen the most of him. Is there?
I seen him play, but I don't see the.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 28, Boston Celtics, is Liam McNeely the pick? Is that were you preemptively hyping that up, or
no? Luke Cornett is a free agent.
Yeah.
So bring Kalkbrenner in here, dude. Bring him in. Come on down, brother. Just do it again.
Yeah, I would like for the Raptors to trade for either this pick or one of the Brooklyn picks to try and get a big. It could be Kalkbrenner, it could be someone else, but just in this range, it would make sense.
Commissioner, who do you like outside of Kalkbrenner here?
I mean, look, Kalkbrenner would probably be the pick. It would be sick if Hanson Yang was still available here. I think that would be cool.
I'd love Hanson Yang.
Yeah, that would be cool to do.
Yeah, that would be cool.
The other guy, and you guys have talked about this on your pod, shout out to you guys, but Adu Thiero, I love him. He's not a big, but he's just a crazy athlete who I think would be sick to take.
Wait.
Yeah.
He's going to, did he pull out of the draft? I thought he is going to Kentucky.
I think he's staying. Is he?
Did he stay
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I think he's staying too. I thought he was staying.
Let's double check.
So now
he is staying.
Oh, okay.
They just made an announcement that he was staying.
Oh, okay. Are you
staying in the draft?
Staying in the draft. Yeah.
Oh man, that might have changed something for me. I thought I thought he was like Cedric didn't take it and Thiero did. Oh, Oh, okay. Well, let it be known that I really
Where
like
was
him.
it that you mentioned him? I think you mentioned him a little bit earlier, right? Was
It
it?
was
Yeah,
like,
it was up. It was up in the teens actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Would be
But
would be cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
2 more picks left in this mock draft. Number 29, the Phoenix Suns. Mac,
Ooh,
what are you thinking?
they gotta go big or they gotta go point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They need everything.
That's
Yeah,
they need every
yeah.
It's about to get
It's gonna
scary.
say big point guard wing.
They're gonna be the
Okay,
funniest thing.
let's get a player who can do both. Danny Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
I really like the idea of them going to Devin like, who do you like? And him being like, are you guys really coming to me with pick 29? Like, I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
Danny Wolf,
Yeah, we'll take Danny Wolf. Mobile, big, point. He played point guard for a bit. I know it's like a gimmicky type of point
Mhm.
guard thing, but he has skill. The skill is there. He's a good complement to what they have with Nick Richards. That's been a flop. But
Your own countryman. Your own, Jesus.
I mean,
That's your backup.
I gotta be
That's
honest.
your backup big.
That's the backup big for Jamaica right there,
Jesus.
man. Yeah.
He's throwing around Kelly Olynyk in 2028. I promise.
Speaking of Kelly Olynyk, doesn't Danny Wolf kind of play like Kelly O? He kind of has like the similar.
Yeah,
movement.
that same type of pace and processing speed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
yeah.
if
But
he's
I think
that level, then it's a home run at
Oh
29.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll end up getting to that level, but just kind of like movement. He kind of moves. I don't know. Maybe that's actually a bad thing that he moves like like 35-year-old.
You know, Kelly Olynyk also played point guard and grew late too.
Yeah.
Yeah, same type of story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, the final pick of our mock draft here, the LA Clippers. Will they trade for Kevin Durant? Are they going to re-sign Norm Powell? So many questions heading into
Jamaican. That's my starting. That's my
Bro,
starting
we're
two.
literally, you know what we are? We're the redux of Jay and Dan. You know when there was a Canadian on SportsCenter?
Yeah.
Canadian. You, anytime you see Jamaican man.
I'm so the day that the Jamaican merch comes out, you're gonna see me every barbecue.
Yo, I need that jersey. Yeah, Carabana, those are gonna sell.
You know what it is though? It's like you said, Trey. You're like, if Scotty walks this back, you will become his biggest hater. I'm
I'll be
wondering.
the first one kicking him out the door. I promise.
When is the qualifiers for that? Like next year, right?
I think
for
it's
them
this summer.
Oh, is it this summer?
I think it's 2026 summer.
It's FIBA,
Yeah, because
World.
But who's our point guard?
Scotty, man.
Jalen Brunson. He's gonna come over. He's gonna come over. Is he gonna make Team USA in 2028? No.
Maybe. Yeah. They've got this. They've got this talent deficit leaving soon. You know.
Who is he making it over Tyrese? No.
No. Yeah.
Ants? No. That's another better guard. Yeah, one of the Celtics will probably still. Derek White will probably still be good.
He'll be pretty old. I don't think Derek White's going back.
How old is Derek White?
He's like 30.
31. Yeah, 33 would be tough.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Jalen Brunson, his dad is a coach.
Yeah.
He went to Villanova. He's very American.
He's getting that call, man. He's getting that call. I'm telling you.
Bro, it's not he's just like Makai Bruce. It's not the DNA. He's got USA, brother. You know what I mean?
He's gonna be so scorned from the American capital system. If he doesn't get that second contract, that he's gonna fight for Jamaica. I feel.
Oh,
you guys would be.
Yo,
proud
do you think
Go ahead.
Do you think the Bansa plays for Jamaica too?
I pray, and he said he's considering. I feel like Utah would be very disappointed,
bro. They gotta be paying them under the table. There's no way the USA is gonna lose AJ DeBonsa. There's just no way, man.
Would you rather sit on the pine, or would you rather play with some of the great young players in the NBA like Scotty Barnes? You know what I mean?
They're gonna make a Disney movie off of this team. Like cool
Runnings 2.0. That'd be sick. I would tap in. I would watch that. Count me in. Okay, make your pick, bro. LA Clippers.
I'm sorry. At 30, Sion James. similar to like the Drake Powell pick, another guy that can defend at a like very high level and make shots as well. And he's one of those like stockier guys. He rebounds really well for his position as well, and could be a play finisher in those spots. And like with a guy like Harden, those type of guys like flourish next to him. Guys like Daniel House can make a great career just being able to do like 2 or 3 really good things. So like
he did one too many things in the bubble.
And like you can make a career off of that stuff. So I think it's like a very easy pick, honestly.
Nice. Okay. We did it, yo. We did it. I'm just trying to look through like the mock drafts to see if we like missed anybody.
Joan Behringer.
Joan Behringer seems like a guy that ends up being 20s. Ben Seraph.
McNeely.
Yeah.
Theo, I think is definitely go first round.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Well, Theo could have went 30. That 30 pick could have been Theo or Sion.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying, like the amount of guys. If you look at the Raptors at 39, right? We just listed like 4 or 5 names. You know, can they move up from 39 to like 34 and get someone? Because Charlotte has 2 second-round picks at 33 and 34.
I really wish Yaxel was in it, man. That would Yaxel being in it would mean something to me, dude.
Yeah, I would trade up to go get him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He got I think $3 or $4 million, which is more than probably what he would have got at 29. But it's just
the whole thing at that point in the draft is like you want a promise, guaranteed pick. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be, I'm going to the Clippers, guys. You know what I mean? Versus him going, where is he supposed to go? Michigan State or Michigan, right?
Michigan.
He's going to Michigan.
Yeah. So like he would have had to get picked around like anywhere between like 20 to like 22 or 23 to make the same amount of money, which is crazy.
Wow.
I think his thought process is like his value is not going to go any higher from this year to next year anyway. Like he's because of his age, because of the draft class that's coming in, he's going to be around that pick range anyway. So let me get that extra $3 million. Then
I would have taken the guaranteed years.
Happen, man.
Yeah,
it could. It could, but it could happen if he made the NBA.
Guaranteed contract. I mean, I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's a gamble for sure.
I think he was probably scared of getting that hinky deal or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's why I hate anytime one of those rotation players from OKC, they're like, he signed for 17 years at a peace-killing contract. Look at Sam Presti go.
Bro, literally, it'll be like serfdom. They'll be like, they brought him over here from Ireland and he's paying off his debt. You'll be like, what? He just gave you 18 in the finals. What are we doing? Man. When Lewis and I were doing Minute Basketball, I wrote a piece about how much I hated the hinky deal. And I was like, Lou Dort got fucked, man.
Yeah, he did. Aaron Wiggins also.
Yeah, Aaron Wiggins is a hinky special, yeah. Mm-hmm. And everyone sits there like, oh, it's such good front office. Shut the like, come on, man. No way it matters that much.
Yeah.
Would you let me ask you guys this question as we kind of wrap here? Would you guys be happy with this being the outcome for the Raptors, knowing it's 9 with the pick that we kind of selected here, plus what's left over for what they can do with the second round?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be an idiot if I did the film room and wrote that big piece on Carter and was like, I'm not liking it, fellas. I am not a fan.
Turns out I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's tough because the way the board fell, I don't think Carter would have been the guy, but I still like him as a prospect.
Let's do that. Who would have been the guy for you then?
Malawatch.
Cool.
And I'll say Nolan.
Yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense. I think with Malawatch, it's just like the white guy comp thing. I hate the African on African connection just because he's African.
Yeah, I get it.
Mac, what is your selling point for Malawatch? Like if the Raptors end up picking him at 9?
I mean, I look at the Raptors, they don't have a backup big.
Yep.
You're looking at the wing position, you're looking at the guard position.
How often do you draft a guy with the last pick in the second round and he leads the league in blocks?
Which league? Which league?
Don't do that.
Hey, man, they're a professional league. I'll just say that.
Hey, shout out to my 905, man.
Yes, sir. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but when I see how the Raptors have like lined up their prospects, they're pretty much set except for backup point guard. I like Shed, but I think we just need a pure point guard, somebody who can play make. But I don't know if you go that route. If you have a guy who's 7'2" with a 7'7" wingspan, you got to take a chance. We don't have a vertical threat. Yeah. We have guys who can move side to side a bit, but who do we have as a vertical threat? And who are you going to find later in the draft with that same ability, who you can really like invest in? Right, so that's why I go that route. And then you got Shamche. I know people are high on him. He's kind of more of the athletic Serge Ibaka type. So I think with Malawach being that big, towering guy who can protect the rim, Shamche could be that guy who could switch a little bit, move his feet. I think that's a good defensive front court for the future.
Malawach, I would have the Raptors. I don't know who they would have to select for me to be like, damn. Because Malawach isn't my favorite, but if the Raptors select him, then that tells me like, well, they like something and they're seeing things I didn't see, and then he's huge, he's massive, like he's going, and if he hits on anything, developmental wise, skill wise, I mean, it becomes very clear how he finds value on the court. And despite me liking probably Nolan and Carter more at number 9 than him, it would be like, sure.
I mean, how much more minutes do you want to see Mobo playing small ball 5 and trying to finish at the rim?
Bro.
No offense,
bro. 1,000 floaters a year.
It's actually scarier if he's not playing small ball 5.
The wing stuff is tough too, man.
I mean, but imagine having a guy you could throw it in and he dunks it every time.
Yeah, he's a crazy finisher, and like it's super easy to see him and Scotty pair together, like in a playoff series, shutting off the rim completely. And I could see why you would pick him. But I just think the Raptors need a higher offensive upside, just because.
Who is going to give him the dunks?
That's the point. You need
quickly. No,
you need.
I'm joking. The
Raptors need dribble penetration, and like you cannot. I think it's malpractice to not address it. You are literally the worst at it in the NBA. Of all 30 teams, 29 other teams were better at it.
Well, then from that
perspective, the Brooklyn Nets were better at it. The Jazz were better at on-ball creation. Think about this.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I like Yakachonis too. I know he's very polarizing, but I like what he can do. I like that he can finish at the rim. I like that he can create his own shot. Step back. I love his step back shot. He makes. He's a little bit ambitious with his passes. And he'll get like silly turnovers. But I think when you get more reps with your team, he played 1 year. He's a freshman. What do you expect from a point guard who came from overseas? He killed it over in Europe before he got here to US. So I think there's something there in his game.
Seems
that
like
I think
a very Darko pick.
Yeah,
if they went Kasparis. I don't know. Just seems
how the hell do you know what a Darko
pick is? Just giving a vibe. Just seems like a Darko pick. I don't know.
He's European.
What kind of connections are you making?
Jakasionis, why not? It just seems like a Darko pick.
I was gonna ask. So Killian Hayes played for Ratio Farm Ulm, same as Essengue. Does that league give you any pause?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, they're totally different. But if they play the same position and they produce the same way, I would kind of see a little. I try and look in it a little deeper. But with how Essengue impacts the game, it's stuff like when you play out in the park, there's always that one guy who's just an energy guy. He always gets the tip-ins. He always gets a rebound and runs.
Wow.
Yeah, he does. He runs.
I was going to say Joshua Howe. Yeah, I was going to say Joshua Howe.
Yeah, so he does that for you. And remember Scotty in his rookie year? We didn't drop nothing for him. And he give you 15 points. You blink and
you're giving Essengue the Scotty comp already?
No. I'm not being extreme with it, but I'm just saying like you don't drop anything for him. And he'll produce for you, and I like that in my young player. It makes it he's engaged, right? Like he doesn't just float around like Cody Williams, right? So
Cody,
sorry for the shot.
Oh my god, I really hope Cody Williams does not listen to this pod.
Anyway,
he'll never be a Raptor.
I wanted to ask because I have such a terrible sense of like league competitiveness. I remember. This was a huge talking point with Şengün as well. It was like the Turkish league was like almost bankrupt and didn't have as good players for like a 2-year stretch. So they're like, oh, it's not even worth getting into. And then obviously Şengün
Yeah.
Did he make an All-Star team this year?
He sure did.
So he made an All-Star team this year. I mean, and what, he was
Trey
16?
reminding us. Yeah.
But anyway, like, it was the competition he faced was a huge consideration, and I know you like Essengue, so I wanted to get your opinion of.
I mean, it'd be different if he was in that league and he's giving you 10 points, but he gives you like 2 highlights a game. Like there was a game last year in Dubai where Essengue had 33 points and 17 rebounds, all off of energy plays.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like he'll produce. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's not gonna happen this year. Like, he's 18. He's the youngest player in the draft. I think he's the second youngest to Cooper Flag. So, like, you're not gonna really expect anything from him now.
Cooper's so young.
That is crazy.
Yeah, he barely qualified for this year's draft.
Yeah, he reclassified, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fears did the same thing.
Oh
too.
yeah, he's really
young too.
Okay, this was actually really fun. I thought this was a good thought experiment for the most part, of like understanding where the Raptors might land. And I mean, honestly, for a guy who's like very, very just trying to catch the vibes of what this draft is for the most part, you know what I mean? Like watching and seeing highlights and going on YouTube and watching breakdowns and stuff like that. For me, I think this is giving me confidence to be like, at 9, whoever the Raptors pick, you should be pretty confident that they found someone that they like a lot, because there's a couple of different directions that they can go. And it's like, all right, I'm down. I'm down for this direction. Roll with it.
I would never let myself or Trey instill confidence. So this must be Mac.
Mac is, I'm bought in. Let's see. Malawat, sure. Yeah, why not? Casparis, let's do it. You know what I mean? No problem.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I've been go ahead. No, yeah, like I've been doing like my series. I've been breaking down like each positional group week by week, and like but after each episode, I'm like, okay, I really like this forward. Then I'll do my center episode. I'm like, man, I really like this center. Yeah. And I'll do my guard up. I'm like, you know what? This makes sense. So it just tells you they can't really miss. Now it's a lot of pressure, because if you get that one guy who does miss and everybody else hits in that lottery, then we
don't mention the misses. We only acknowledge the hits.
Yeah, only the makes. Yeah.
It's
Jamal Crawford.
There's always guys to like. Yeah.
Okay. Wrap this thing up, Samson. Let's call it a day.
All right. Big show to S for being the commissioner. Thank you very much. Getting back from the NBA Finals right before I head out to the NBA Finals. For anybody listening, anybody listening who's like, "Oh, Raptors Republic," we have 2 NBA Finals credentialed journalists on staff.
Yep.
For not even we do such good work that it's for other teams. Just like give us a good Raptors team and let us cook, man.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah, and so thank you for everybody allowing us to do this right now, so that I can release it while I'm in Indiana. I appreciate it very much. I won't sign everybody off, but Mac, is there anything you want to say? You have a tremendous podcast, the best podcast on the ears, I think. Yeah, the audio mixing on your podcast is exceptional. I've told you this before, but you've got a great voice. You know, it's a great voice, and you're. I don't think I learn much from many people, and I don't often give myself the opportunity to around like basketball content. But your podcast, I will listen to. Anything you want to say?
I mean, I'm just winding down to the draft. Like, I just had an episode I dropped. Was it today or yesterday? This morning, actually. Yeah, with James Barlow, and I think that's going to be a good one for anyone looking for second round sleepers. And then I think I'm going to do my own mock draft. Maybe you guys can come on. We can reprise this. We'll see.
Why not?
Yeah, it'd be nice. But maybe we'll just go up to the Raptors 9th pick, and we'll each make our selection and make our case.
Cool.
And then I'm just trying to wind down. Maybe get more guests on in the coming weeks and keep it going.
All right, Trey. Anything new in the marketing world?
No, nothing new with me. Everybody in the comments, wish our dear 30-year-old friend Essengue the happiest of birthdays. Happy birthday, my friend.
Oh, happy birthday.
Doug. Wow, 30 years old. Damn.
Welcome to 30.
Past the rebuild.
Yeah, just three old guys and one young guy.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has crossed the 30-year milestone, but me.
I started looking at different hats.
It's fedoras now.
I just realized
Like
when it's
the newsboy cap.
Yeah.
on the weekend we were talking about how great Costco was, and it just feels like a utopia.
Wait till you see Winners. No, I'm joking.
No, Winners
Hey,
bangs.
Winners slaps actually. Winners is great. Marshalls too, if you've ever been to
Yep.
Marshalls.
Yeah.
Marshalls is like worse Winners, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it the same?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically worse. Yeah.
There is same company. It's like HomeSense,
I think
Marshalls,
so.
Winners. I think it's all
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
growing up is realizing everything is the same company.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know?
three companies rule the world, basically.
Yeah, you're like, damn. You're like, the water? That's who owns the world? The chocolate? Yeah, insane. All right. S, you want to say anything?
No, subscribe. I guess that's my thing on the podcast, right? Go and subscribe, please. Like and comment and do those things. Helps keep the channel going. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Thanks for producing, producer S. Thank you everybody for hopping on. I appreciate you very much. Listeners, we appreciate you for listening. Once again, let us know where you think we were wrong or right. Let us know what you think about the draft in the comments, all that kind of stuff. Feedback is good, especially if it's not insanely rude. So thanks for tuning in with us. If you like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel. We appreciate you. Whether you got into this in the morning or at night, have a blessed day. From myself, from Trey, from Mac, from S, and goodbye.